Okay.
Let it come live. Okay,
Yeah.
say hi.
Hi, folks. We're working on some
Okay.
technical difficulties, so just hang with us and see if we are working. So be right back with you.
No. Here we go. Okay. All right,
Okay.
Mom, we're on.
Okay, we're on.
I think we're on.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Should we wait a couple minutes and see if people find us?
You have 9,
We have 9. How many did we have before we died?
39.
Oh,
my
gosh.
goodness,
Okay,
yeah.
people, come back.
All right, so you fill in with something
Now
while
you're
I...
up to 10,
All right,
Okay.
are you with us? All right, hopefully we're good to go.
11,
Papa's counting. Hubby's counting.
13. Keep going.
Okay. So, I did want to say also that, thank you for all of you who have, purchased some of the items that we brought back. A lot of orders went out this week. I'm still working on some others. Some folks asked for theirs to be delayed and they'll go out next week. I have at least a couple more that I need to contact you, to give you the totals, and so just bear with me on that. I kind of took off yesterday afternoon and today, so I haven't been back to do any of that, but I will get back to that on Monday. So we're good?
You got 30.
Okay, good. Thanks for hanging.
Oh, we have no
It's always
idea
something.
why we lost our feed, but we lost our feed.
All right, and if it happens again, just hang with us, because
Yeah.
we'll work on it to get it back.
Yeah, you'll have to refresh the page just like you did this time,
Yeah.
and a new video will have started at the top.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start over so that we have a good, clean video. The website is tforallreasons.com. The email to contact me is info@tforallreasons.com. I was starting to talk about, the July subscription boxes
Yeah.
are coming up. And so for those of you that are still subscribers, your invoice will go out on July the 5th. And I will ship those boxes out within a few days of receiving payment. So just wanted to give you a heads up that that's coming. And related to that, last year I offered, just for July 4th only, the Independence Day blend. And I feel like that was too short. So I'm actually going to offer it the week around July 4th. So from July 1st to July 7th or 8th, I'm going to offer the Independence Day blend. Just
Yeah, give them enough time to get it in so that they
yeah,
can
so they
enjoy
can
it.
have it. So probably, or maybe that last week of June
Yeah.
through the first week of July. For 2 weeks, I'll offer the Independence Day blend. So just to give you a heads up that that's coming.
And that is a raspberry, blueberry, vanilla.
Yes, and it's
And it's
delicious.
delicious.
Black tea,
Black tea.
yeah.
And with sprinkles in it.
yeah,
Patriotic sprinkles in
yeah.
it.
So, so keep an eye out for that. I'll post when that is available in the group. I will try to remember to post it on the page. Since I've been posting more on the page, since Mom's had her lockout, I'm more aware of the page. So
Maybe this is a good
it
thing.
may be a good thing. So I will try to post both on the page and in the group when the Independence Day blend is available. And I think those are the only announcements you were going to start out
Are you
with.
going to wait and talk about July's event later?
Yeah, at the end.
Okay,
Yeah.
at the end. Okay.
I was going to mention, so a great gift idea. I do offer gift cards on the website, any amount that you're wanting to do. And so if you have someone that you know that loves tea, but you're not sure exactly what teas to get for them or what accessories they might need or want, a gift card is a great way to go. So I do offer gift cards. And it is an emailed gift card. Like, you're not actually going to get a card in the mail sent out. It's an email that has a code specific to that recipient where they can use their gift card in the online shop anytime.
Yeah, and I will say this, that what we're finding as grandparents is that gift giving is a little more of a challenge for grandchildren, even our children.
Yes.
And gift cards are really a wonderful tool for us to
Yeah.
be able to give gifts, but also, you know, people like that. They like to be able to pick out their own teas and just take their time in picking out what they want.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it's a great idea.
Yep. Okay, so we'll just get right to it. I'm gonna show a lot of teas tonight. So typically the focus is more on the demo, the baking demo, and Mom is gonna do a demo tonight, but it's
not very long.
It's not very long.
Yeah.
It's not as involved, and so I thought, you know what? Let's just show off a lot more teas. So we're gonna do it in 3 segments of teas. So I'm gonna start off with the peach teas. Oh, I almost forgot.
Oh, yes. We know you're hanging on for this.
Yeah, segue. So I'm going to show off 3 peach teas that are in the peaches sampler set. And so the sampler set, like all of our samplers, 6 teas, half-ounce bags of each tea in the sampler. And what you get, these are all peach teas, and they're all.
Oh my goodness.
I love peach tea
I do
so
too.
much, and that's why we have so many of them.
Yeah.
More than any other fruit, I just love the peach teas. So you get peaches and cream, which is a black tea. Watermelon, peach mango, which is a black tea. That's a good one. And pear peach, which is a black tea, and I'm gonna demonstrate. I'm gonna show the pear peach, and then peach berry, which is a rooibos tea, and I'm gonna demonstrate that. Hibiscus peach, which is also a rooibos and is new, and I forgot to bring that for you. It's really good. If you like hibiscus and if you like peach, you can't go wrong with the
And the
hibiscus
color
peach.
is so
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's beautiful. And then the herbal tea in this sampler is the peach punch.
Okay.
I'm not showing a peach punch.
No, you've got this one.
I've got this
Yeah.
other one.
Okay.
So, so that's your sampler, and this is the giveaway for tonight.
Sounds good.
Yeah, in the peaches is the giveaway, and so the keyword, I'm sure you can guess, is peaches. I know, I'm so original. My dad is.
Well, it's going to be easy for you to remember.
Easy to remember.
Does it have to be in all caps?
It's helpful if it's in all caps. It helps me because I will. You guys don't realize how long it takes for me to weed through
Yeah.
all of the comments because of the way Facebook does comments.
So
it
having
takes-
them in all caps
having
really
it in all
helps.
caps really helps.
Yeah.
But it literally takes me almost the entire rewatching of the demo of our Facebook Live to catch every comment that has the giveaway. Anyway, so peaches for the giveaway for the In the Peaches sampler set.
People are including little emojis of peaches.
Okay, perfect. Are they sweet or unsweet?
Peaches? Sweet.
No, the teas. So, generally speaking, the teas come to you unsweetened.
Yeah,
There-
no sugar added.
No sugar added, except there are some blends that have if they have sprinkles,
Yeah.
or if the ingredients has a coarse sugar. Like there are some that have sugar as part of the blend for the look of it. Those have added sugar in them. Sometimes the fruit is crystallized. I don't think any of these are.
No.
They don't look like they are. So, but in that case, usually the list of ingredients will tell you that it has sugar added.
But you don't really make a point of adding sugar
No,
just to make it a sweet tea.
no,
A
no.
sweeter
it's-
tea.
No. So no, they're unsweetened. And we do recommend that you taste your tea unsweetened before you add sweetener to it, because you may find, especially with some of the really fruity herbals, that it doesn't need a sweetener.
No, but I will say that if you add a little bit of sugar to them when they're iced, holy moly, they
Yeah.
are so good
Yeah.
that way. I love them that way.
Yeah. Well, I've had to back off.
I know you have.
I am a keto diet person, and so and I had not done it during COVID. And just went back on keto in the last month, and so no sugar for me. And it's hard to not have
Yeah.
sweetener in my
They
tea.
don't need sweetener in the tea. I'm just saying that if
Yeah.
you put them over ice, having a little sugar just enhances the
Yes.
flavor
Yes.
even more.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first third of the teas that I'm going to show you are peach teas, and so I'm gonna and we're gonna brew them in pots. So the first one is the pear peach. You might have to tilt down a little bit. The pear peach is the black tea, and it does have a little bit of green tea in it. Can you see it? Okay. And it also has a little bit of mate. Mate. It doesn't have
Well,
an accent on it.
No, it's, yeah.
I think it's mate.
I've heard it both ways.
And it smells really good. So I got distracted. So I'm gonna put. This is the fabulous, perfect pot of teaspoon. If you look on here, you can see that it's the perfect pot of teaspoon that does 3 to 4 cups in a pot. So if you have a 4-cup pot, one of these spoons is going to set you up for a perfect pot. If you have a 6 to 8-cup pot, then you want 2 of these. If for a 6-cup pot, for sure you want 2. I'm going to do 1 spoon of the tea. I have a perfect pot. I tend to do heaping. My mom does not, so I'm honoring my mom. A level spoon is all you need.
Well, because also I'm not going to fill the pot.
Right, and she's not filling it completely. Okay, so this is the pear peach, and we already have boiling water. And while she's putting water on that, get my timer ready. Oh, we should have done the rooibos first. That's okay. We're gonna give that 3 minutes. Okay, then the second tea is the peach berry rooibos top. This is rooibos, and it is a combination. It's actually a green rooibos. You can tell it's a little bit lighter in color. It's the same plant. It's just processed a little bit differently. It's dried differently than the red rooibos. You still get the red color that you do from the traditional rooibos. So I'm doing 1 spoon of this. Remember, rooibos is naturally decaffeinated, and so you can drink it any time of the day. But this is peach and cranberry. Got a little bit of strawberry in there, and this one does have white chocolate bits in it, and so that's that added sugar. But you really don't. It doesn't sweeten it at all. Dude, can you? My son is giving me the tiniest notes. You can use the whole piece.
Yeah, use the whole
You
piece.
can use the whole Post-it. Someone is having frozen video issues. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't-
Log out and come back in.
yeah. If you're having issues on your end, refresh it. Because I don't know if it's our problem. I don't know if it's our problem, or is it freezing on you? Is it freezing on you? No? Okay. Yeah, so maybe refresh. I don't know why we're having technical difficulties. Maybe sunspots or something.
How long a timer on the peach?
I just did it.
Oh, you've got.
I've got the timer.
Oh, she's got a timer on that one. Okay, and then the third one is new. It's not part of the sampler. It is an herbal, and it's called peach macaron, and it is wonderful. It's just peach. It's like drinking peach juice, but it's not peach juice. Oh, it's so good. It's got pear pieces, papaya, pineapple, mango, dates, figs, some rose petals, red currants, and it's just wonderful. So I'm gonna do, again, even with an herbal, it's big and chunky. I'm gonna do 1 spoon for the pot, and then we'll let that steep for 5 minutes. And in the meantime, the black, is this the black? The black is almost done. Okay, I'm gonna cover these up. I got 13 seconds on the black. I'm gonna move these out of the way. And then I'm gonna pour into the cup. There we go.
You can set us for 5.
Yep.
I have.
Oh, he's got 5 for the herbal.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the pear peach. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Nice amber color. I need a thingy. Yeah, that looks really nice. And it actually tastes really good. If you like fruity black teas, it's really nice. It's a mild black, and the pear and the peach flavor blend well together in that tea. It's a nice couple.
That's beautiful.
It's really nice in the summer. It is good on ice. Any of the teas I'm showing you tonight are fabulous on ice. You don't have to drink just Lipton on ice. You can drink any tea on ice. Any other question? In the last two, were those candied fruit pieces or just dried? I'm pretty sure they were just dried fruit pieces. I don't think any of them were candied. If any of them were candied, it might have been the pineapple. I'd have to go back and check, but I don't think any of them were candied.
They get dried. Yeah.
They were dried.
And what was the name of that tea?
The herbal, peach macaron. Is that one. Okay, so which one are we waiting on next? The rooibos is coming. Where's the? Okay, yeah, the herbal is still going. Okay, so the next one coming up is the peach berry, which is the one that I drink all summer. It's so good, and you can see the rooibos needles coming out. And like I said, this is a green rooibos, so it's not as red as the red rooibos, but you can tell it is redder than the amber color of the black tea. And I can smell that one. It smells really good. Peachberry is a bestseller. I've sold quite a bit of the peachberry, and it's really, really good.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites out of it. That's a good one.
Well, I wish I'd known. I would have brought you some.
Well, you brought me a lot, so I'm good. You can check. And I brought home a lot.
Yeah, Mom brought home a lot of tea from England. She's got the good stuff from England.
Yours, well,
I know mine's good, but
Yours is
yours is what you got is traditional. How much longer on that? 2 minutes? Okay, we're gonna pad. So I've shown these before. How about put water in that one? Just any water. So these are tea makers. I use one of these every day. Not this one. I use this one every day. My husband uses one like this every day. This is a 16-ounce tea maker. It's by Tea Lyra. You just put your leaves in there, and then you pour your water on, and you just set it with the lid down. You let it steep, and then once it's steeped how you like it, whatever the time or the color, then you just pop it on top of your mug, and the tea will decant down into, yes, I'm gonna show it. Your tea will decant down into your mug, and it comes with a little coaster so it doesn't drip on your counter. So Mom put water in this one. I'm gonna show you how it just steeps down, or it decants down into your mug. It's got a little plate on the bottom, and it will get every drop of your tea into your mug, and it's just that simple. And then you just rinse out your leaves, and I set mine on the coaster to dry with the lid open, and you're good to go until your next cup. They work great. So this one is a 16 ounce, and like I said, this one's by Tea Lyra, and I do carry it in the shop. This one is also a 16 ounce. I can't remember who the maker is. It's got this logo on it, and it's got a different shape. It looks a lot bigger than this one, but they hold the same amount of liquid, basically. And then this one is also by Tea Lyra. This one is a 18 ounce, and you get 18 ounces by filling it up basically to the top. And this is the one that I use every day because I drink 18 ounces of tea in my Tea for All Reasons thermal mug. So, okay, so we're ready for the herbal.
No, we're not.
We're not ready?
No.
Oh, it needs to steep longer?
Yeah, because I forgot to put water.
Oh, okay, we're waiting
So
on
we
that.
got 4 more minutes.
Okay, well, okay. Oh, we have questions. Perfect. Perfect. How much is the peach berry? I don't remember my prices. My prices used to be easy, and then I had to raise them in the spring, and now they're weird because I did a percentage price increase, and I have no idea what.
Check the website.
Check the website, teaforallreasons.com. Oh, again, I have no idea what the price. I should know. I don't know what the prices are. They're about 20.
No.
18 ounce.
What? Do you have more of the small tea makers? Of these? Of this? I have plenty of these. Of the 18 ounce one?
It's like charades.
Do I have more of the? This is the large one. If this is the 18 ounce one, is the large one. If that's what you're talking about, and I have 2 or 3 in stock. I think I think I have 6 of these, maybe, and I know I have 6 of these. 16. These 2 are 16 ounce, and then this one is the 18 ounce. It's 18 ounces because it's fatter. You can tell they're weird. Anyway, did I answer the question? I don't know. Anyway, teaforallreasons.com. You can find those tea makers on the website as well, and it'll show you how many I have in stock.
We need to rehearse.
Note to self.
I mean, yeah, I memorize all my prices.
Well, but I think because the prices change, it's hard to.
Yeah, I don't know the prices because
Yeah.
I literally just raised prices
Yeah.
because of inflation.
She doesn't want to misquote.
And so I really don't know what my prices are right now. Because they're too new, and they are weird. It's not around. They're not round numbers. It's not. They went from $8 for a non-specialty tea up to 8 something or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
It's terrible. I should know, but I don't. Anyway, hopefully I answered your questions. I don't know.
And hopefully you're still with us.
I do have the Tea for All Reasons thermal mug, and don't mind mine is coming off from too much washing. And my lid is different because I broke my lid and I bought a replacement lid on Amazon. But I do have these in the shop as well. They're the size of a small Yeti. It's basically like a Yeti. It's not Yeti. It holds 20 ounces of liquid.
Yeah, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I take mine up to bed with me with water in it and ice. And in the morning, the ice is still
ice.
there.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, it
doing
will
great.
keep your cold drinks cold, and
Yeah.
it does keep your hot drinks hot.
Yeah.
And I, like I said, I use it every day. It will get stained on the inside, so my husband also uses one of these every day. He's a tea drinker. He's not as diligent about washing his out because he doesn't put anything in his tea. He just uses tea. And his was so stained, disgusting stained. And I took OxyClean, a little bit of OxyClean and hot water, and I let it sit overnight, and it got all of that tea stain out. I did the same thing for mine. Mine was not nearly as stained because I wash mine diligently every day. Speaking of washing, these can go in the dishwasher. I don't recommend putting it in the dishwasher every day. It's hard to read this stuff on the bottom. But I do put it in the dishwasher at least once a month. This will get stained as well because that's just the nature of tea. Tea stains everything. But it doesn't mean it's dirty. It just means it's stained by the tea. But that's why I rinse it out after. I don't let tea sit in it.
Right.
That makes it look grosser once it's stained. But you can run it through the dishwasher about once a month, and it should do okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so
That's a
this is.
different color.
Oh, is it? Oh, interesting. So this is the peach macaron, and I've had this. I mean, I tasted
Yeah.
it. The peach macaron herbal, and yeah, you're right. It's pretty light, but it's all fruit. And it doesn't have any. I just poured it into the bowl.
We're a little distracted tonight.
Well, I use bowls at home.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, so that's an herbal, and so herbals will come in a variety of colors, and so that is very pale, but that doesn't mean that it's lacking in flavor. Can you smell it? I can smell it. And so that is the peach macaron herbal, and it is delicious. Trust me, so good. And so that's the peach tea demo. Are you gonna drink that? Okay, you can give us a critique. It's a little hot.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's good. Add a little sugar, just a pinch of sugar to that, and it brings out that peach a little bit more. But honestly, it doesn't need it. Doesn't need it. Okay, so that's the tea demo number 1. We have 2 more tea demos that are going to come, but we're going to move on to Mom's baking demo, and then we'll take a short little break to kind of reset a little bit, and then after the break we'll come back and we'll finish up with the other 2 tea demos.
All right, super.
Okay?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Take it away.
Move over here to the island. And what I'm going to demonstrate today is, you don't have to show that, not yet. What we're going to show you today is how to make lemon curd. We've talked a lot about lemon curd in the past and how wonderful it is and really how easy it is to make. And that's really why I wanted to do it, because I wanted you to see how easy it is to make. And summertime is just a wonderful time to have lemon curd. So what we have, and I'll get to this a little bit later, so I'm going to move it. What we have are the ingredients. Now, by the way, I had posted this on Food for All Reasons about a year ago. So if you want to go back to Food for All Reasons, and it was in May of 2021 that I posted the homemade fresh lemon curd recipe. We will post it again, but just in case you want to refer to that sooner than we get a chance to put it up there, the recipe is there.
Speak up.
So the ingredients that we're going to use today are 3 large eggs and 3 large egg yolks. And I already have those in the bowl. Okay? And then to this, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of sugar. And then we're going to add some lemon juice. But I want to show you a little bit about the lemon juice first, because it calls for a 1/2 cup of fresh lemon juice. And that's approximately 2 to 3 lemons. What I have in here is the juice of 2 lemons, and I wanted to wait and do the last one so that you could actually see how I use this lemon squeezer. And it's just really so easy. This is a depression glass one, and this just gets all the juice and the pulp. Now the pulp is not something that we're going to use. We're going to strain this through a mesh strainer, and we may actually have more than we need. We need a 1/2 cup. So if we need that other 1/2 of a lemon, we'll use that. But this is going to collect the pulp and the seeds through the mesh strainer. Okay. We may need to come back to that, but let's see how much we got. Yep, we're going to need it a little more. Okay. We're going to do that other 1/2. Okay. bit of the juice that we can out of that. So as I said, we've already put into this, and we're using a double boiler, and the water that's in the double boiler, the bottom part is already simmering, and that's what you want. You want it to come to a simmer. And when you use a double boiler, and you put the top part on there, you want it to be touching the water, but you don't want to be impacted by the simmer or the boil. And this just keeps it from sticking. You don't want it to stick. So if you were to use a regular, pot, then chances are you would have some sticking. So I'm just going to whisk this. So it's our eggs, our egg yolks, our lemon juice is coming in. And the sugar. All right. So we're just going to continue to whisk this. And I've got it on a kind of a high heat, and that's okay. It's not really boiling under there. And, you know, I hesitate to say not to stir it constantly, or rather, I don't want you to think that you have to stir it constantly, but I don't want you to forget it either. So it's good for you to keep an eye on it. So while that's doing that, I want to just tell you, as soon as you get this combined, then you're going to be adding the cubes of butter. And this is 1 stick of unsalted butter cut into cubes. And so you're going to cook this, whisking it constantly until the mixture is thickened. And it's going to take about 10 minutes. So while this is cooking away, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about another part of this that I'm demonstrating tonight. And that is that the uses of lemon curd, the many uses of lemon curd, and of course, very often we're familiar with having lemon curd on scones. Another thing that I remember growing up with is that my favorite birthday cake that my mom would make was a white or a yellow cake, and she would use lemon curd in the center, and then she would frost it with a vanilla icing and then cover it with coconut. And that was my favorite cake growing up. And sadly, not everybody in our family likes coconut. But I did do the lemon curd filling for Molly Ann's last birthday. And then, so tonight I wanted to demonstrate another recipe, which is a cookie. And this is actually out of our Tea for All Reasons cookbook, and it's on page 24, and it's Russian tea cakes. And this is a recipe that I've made a number of times. It is so easy, and very often when I make it, I'll fill it with strawberry or raspberry jam, and then bake the cookie. But this is a little bit different. It's the same cookie recipe, but what I've done is I wanted to show you 2 different methods for doing this. What we're going to do is fill the cookie with the lemon curd. And so this one, I did this is actually called like a thumbprint cookie, but you need a bigger diameter than the thumbprint. So I used the back of a teaspoon measure, and I pressed it down. Yeah, if you want to stir that a little bit for me. Stir it. So I had the dough like this, and I pressed it down with the teaspoon. to get that indentation. And but I also did this one. I wanted to try both things, and this one is actually baked first, and then I tried doing that. But I wasn't happy with it because it cracked. So this is really the way you want to go. You want to do it as an unbaked cookie dough, and do your indentation, and then bake it. And then once it's baked, we're going to fill with the lemon curd. And now, that would be if you're going to serve the cookie right away. If you want to store the cookies, what you should do is fill it with the lemon curd, and then, is it getting thick?
Yeah.
Okay. And then put it back in the oven for a couple of minutes.
I hated to interrupt, but
Okay. So put it back in the oven for a couple of minutes, and then take them out, and then you'll be able to store them without worrying about the lemon curd spoiling. Yeah, that's great. Let me use this spoon. Now I need a spoon.
okay.
I want to show you how wonderful and thick this is.
How much lemon curd will 6 eggs make?
We'll find out.
We're going to find out. I don't know. I don't know how much. All right, I'm going to pull this out. Okay. Take that. Yeah, it's hot. Whew. Okay. All right. So that is all that goes into making lemon curd. That is it. And look how easy. And get a good picture of that. Now, once you're done with this, you can let it cool a little bit on the counter. If you're going to put it in the fridge to store it for a while, then what you want to do is put some plastic wrap over it so that you avoid getting that skin on top, and then you can peel off you can use wax paper if you want to. So you can peel that off and you'll have a nice surface. So what I want to do is go ahead and start baking these cookies. Do that last one. Okay, we're going to put those in the oven. And these are going to go in for 15 minutes. And then when they come out, we'll put the lemon curd filling in.
Someone asked 3 eggs and 3 yolks.
Yes. Three whole eggs and 3 egg yolks. A half a cup of granulated sugar and a half a cup of lemon juice from, it turned out to be 3 large lemons, and then 1 stick of unsalted butter.
Why don't you wash one of those cup measures and see how much you made?
Oh, okay.
Is this the one that had the lemon?
Yeah, the big one. You know, I think one of the recipes that I looked at one point, and I don't know if it's in this one or not, had actually recommended that you strain the curd again once it's cooked, because you might get little bits of egg white, and I'm seeing a little bit of egg white, but it doesn't really bother me.
So it looks like 3 eggs makes 2 cups.
2 cups. Yeah.
Yep. So
Okay.
you would get double that if you do 6 eggs.
Right.
Are you trying to get us together? I'm not actually in this part of the show. I just came over to help.
Now, as far as storing is concerned, the instructions that I had posted on Food for All Reasons does not give the instructions on how to do it if you're going to process them in the jam jars. But, and I have done that before, but if you want to just store it in your fridge, and it would need to be refrigerated because it's eggs, then you can just put it into a mason jar, or you can put it into a refrigerator dish, or whatever, and it'll keep for 2 weeks in your fridge. And I'll send this home with Jen.
Oh, I know some people who will be happy.
Yeah, we'll put that in the fridge until they're ready to come home, go home.
Awesome.
But also, let me show you what it looks like in the cookie.
I gave you a spoon.
I used it for something. Yeah, you might, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and I'm gonna do it with the cookies, that come out of the oven too, but might need to, might work better refrigerated, but that did just fine.
Mm-hmm.
So there is your finished cookie.
Put some in that one too, and then I know someone who wants to eat them.
Oh, okay.
Well, also the younger.
Well, that's who I thought you were pointing to.
I was pointing to the younger.
And then a little bit of garnish.
Oh my goodness.
I know. And there you go. Okay.
All right, I'll hand them over. So, did you want one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that is how easy it is to make lemon curd. And one of the things that hubby and I were talking about when we were in England is that when we were visiting some of the shops like Portland Mason and other shops, they had so many different flavor options for curd. And so that's something I'd like to do this summer, is to really try some different flavors, like blood orange was one that I thought of, and maybe even raspberry, and just see how it works. If I can really get enough juice, or if I have to supplement with something else, but I just think it would be fun to try to experiment, because it's so easy, and even if it's not my favorite, it's not going to go to waste.
Nope.
But other ideas besides a layer cake and a cookie and a scone, it's great over pancakes, French toast. It's good on toast.
Yep.
There's some other recipes on Pinterest where you can make lemon bars, and I've done the little tarts, the little pastry tarts with the lemon curd inside. So there's so many uses for it. It's something that's great to have on hand all the time.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna do a not quite 10-minute break. We're gonna pause for a second so that we can reset a little bit and get ready for the next 2 demo. Yes.
Somebody asked if it's too rich to use as a pie filling.
Oh
No.
No, not at all. The only thing is that it is not going to set up as much as a typical lemon
Custard
chess pie
or custard.
However, I think you could add it to like Cool Whip or something, maybe with some gelatin, unflavored gelatin. You could do a lemon pie filling with it for sure.
Sure.
And I think it would be really yummy.
Or even with some cream cheese to do an uncooked cheesecake
Yes.
kind of pie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds wonderful. I know.
So why don't we sign off and make one?
I know, right? Well, I can't
Well,
eat it. I can't eat any of this.
Here's another thing I wanted to mention. I don't know if any of you watched the Great British Bake Off. It was a new version, and it was for the Platinum Jubilee. And we watched it over there. And the young woman who won the prize for the best contribution to the Platinum Jubilee was the one who created a trifle, and it was a lemon trifle, and it was, she made her own lemon curd, she made her own Jell-O, and she had she used the lemon curd on the jelly roll cake, and rolled it up and sliced it and put it in the trifle, and then the Jell-O and custard. And it looked fabulous. It really did. So
We
that's
didn't get
another
that
idea.
show.
You didn't get that show. Well, that's another idea, is you can use it in trifle. That would make
Oh yeah, it would be very
wonderful
good in a
trifle.
trifle. Yeah, with pound cake.
Yeah,
Truffle.
and you can mix with strawberries or
Mhm.
other
Blueberries.
berries. Yeah.
Yeah, coconut. All
Okay.
that good stuff. Somebody asked if we were gonna share the cake recipe that you mentioned.
Oh, the one for Molly?
Yeah, well, or grandma's, the cake with the curd and with the coconut.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, we can.
Now,
I wasn't gonna say we could unless she said we could.
The one that I made for Molly was different than what my mom
It
made.
was, you
though.
could share that one too.
Yeah.
But yes, we can share, yeah, we'll come over here. Yeah, we will share the cake recipe.
The one that I made for Molly's birthday was actually one that I created for the royal wedding tea event that we had here. So that was back in what, 2011, I
Yeah,
think.
whenever that was.
And
Kate and William.
yeah, it
Yes.
was for Kate and William, and it was a lemon coconut. Now I left the coconut out because Molly is one of those who's not keen
Yeah,
on
it doesn't
coconut.
like the coconut.
But
so,
that is a
Yeah.
winner of a cake.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, so, yeah, so I can, I'll
Yeah,
I'll
we'll share some
one of those.
recipes. Yeah, for sure. We'll
Yeah.
share recipes. And then someone had asked, right as you were transitioning to the curd demo, so I didn't want to interrupt. Of the 3 peach teas, which would have the richest flavor of peach? All of them. They're all peach in their own unique way. So I can't say one tastes more of peach than the other.
So you're trying to get the most peach bang for your buck.
More peach bang
Probably.
for your buck. My dad is pointing at the herbal
There's no tea.
peach macaron, which is right. It's just fruit.
It's just fruit,
Yeah.
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 Interesting.
Yeah. But I think, I mean, you haven't tried the peach berry.
No, when we come back, I'm gonna taste all 3 and I'll come back and maybe
All right,
be able
very
to tell
good.
you my opinion on that.
Pop will taste the peach berry,
Okay. Yeah.
and he can let us know.
Oh, that's good.
He likes that one too. I'm telling you, the peach teas are the way to go. They're so great in the summer. I mean, you can't. I don't even like to eat actual peaches, but I love some good peach tea. That's the pear peach.
Yeah, that was good too.
Yeah, they're all good. See,
They
there
really
you go.
are.
Okay, so we're gonna stick with the 10-minute break. I was hoping to come back right at 8 o'clock, because it is almost 8 o'clock. So we'll come back at 5 after 8 to do part 2, which will be 2 tea demos, and I'm going to show some necessities too to kind of break up the 2 tea demos.
And we'll have more cookies coming out of the oven.
And those cookies will come out of the oven, absolutely. So come back at 5 after 8, and we'll be ready for part 2. Okay.
The microphone's not
Okay, we're coming back. Welcome back. So I know, whoops. We know that the audio is quiet. We have a microphone attached to the phone, but we think it's not working. So I'm a loud talker, so hopefully you guys can hear me, and I'll just keep reminding her to talk loud. So I apologize that you guys were having audio problems hearing us, and so we'll try to talk louder.
Yeah, maybe if you play it back, maybe set the volume on your computer a little bit more so you can hear us.
Pardon me, I thought she was going to talk a little bit longer. So I thought I would have enough time to get a swig of water because I realize I'm a little bit dry. Okay, so welcome back. This is part 2, and this is going to be all tea with a little bit of me showing some of our necessities for you, just to remind you what we have in the shop. So I'm going to demo some summer teas in this first part of it, and then I'll demo some other summer teas. So these 3 teas that I'm going to demonstrate for you next are in the summer sampler, which is now listed in the shop. The spring sampler is gone. That went out of the shop, and the summer sampler is now available in the shop. And I try to mix up the seasonal samplers so that you get some different teas every year. And so there are some different teas in the summer sampler this summer.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to fill the cookies with the lemon curd.
Okay, yeah, because I don't think I need you for this part.
No, okay.
I'm going to grab this kettle and bring it over, because I'm going to do this one a little differently. I'm not doing the pot. What's wrong? It
It
stopped?
froze on him,
It froze. Okay,
but it says
refresh.
it's live here.
Okay. If you're watching and we're still good for you, just chime in with a comment and let us know that you're still good.
Yeah. I don't
Do
know.
we have people? Do we have a count?
Yeah, we
still
have people on.
Okay, so I'm going to press on like we're good, and all you need to do is just refresh the page. Okay, and go
It's
back to
just like it's
the video.
Yeah, we have a report. You are live.
Okay, so I'm going to just press on ahead like we're good,
Okay.
and then, okay, he's got it back. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate these and the next batch differently. I'm going to brew them directly in the cups using the tea sacks, and we carry these tea sacks in the shop. I'm going to be using the tea sack number 1, and I'm going to show you. So I've shown this in the past with tea sack number 2, but this is a fresh box of tea sack number 1, and these do the same thing as tea sack number 2. So when you pull your tea sacks out of your box, it's going to look like this. It looks thick. It looks thicker than this. This is 1 tea sack. This is 2 tea sacks that are kind of, they're not glued together, but they're attached to one another. So pull on one end and you get the bottom. If you carefully find the 3rd piece that's on that end, separate them out, and you've got 2 tea sacks. So just be aware, and tea sack number 3 probably does the same thing too. Just be aware that your tea sacks may be clumped together in pairs in the box. I'm never going to get those back in there. Anyway, I sell these in the shop, tea sack number 1, which is perfect for a cup of tea. It'll also work for a mug, like a normal 8-ounce, 10-ounce mug. You would put 2 spoonfuls. See, I told you I'm not getting it back in there. Anyway, so I'm going to demonstrate using the tea sacks, because these are great if you don't have an infuser, or if you want to take it with you to work, or you're going somewhere and you want to have tea. You can preload your tea sacks with your tea, take it with you, and all you need to do is find hot water and you're ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to use the perfect cup of teaspoon, which is perfect for a cup of tea. My dad's eating one of those cookies right now.
Don't tell on
He's eating one of those fabulous cookies that I'm not allowed to eat because I'm on keto, and he is.
We wanted to keep him motivated.
Yeah, so you gotta feed the camera guy and the comment guy. I forgot what I was doing. Okay, so I got totally distracted. Okay, so I'm showing off summer teas. So these 3 teas are in the summer sampler. The first one is Island Lime, and it is exactly what you think it is. It is lime and island flavors of coconut. This one has candied pineapple in it, and so this is candied pineapple, not just dried pineapple. It's got apple, hibiscus, rosehip, lemon and lime pieces, a little bit of peppermint, and lime leaves, and it's really, really good. I like this one in the summer. It's refreshing. It's got that little zip of the lime, and it's really good. So, and this is a black tea. So here's how I do the tea sack. I open the tea sack, I get my spoon ready, I put it in, and then I flip it so that the tea goes down into the sack. And I'm going to demonstrate that again so you'll see it again. And then I do fold it over, and I stick it in my mug or my cup or whatever it is that I'm going to be steeping. I'm going to set that there. Will you use a tea clip for the tea sack? I can. So thank you for reminding me. I brought a tea clip. Do you have one that's not on the card, Mom?
I do.
My mom has a tea clip, so we're going to use hers. But I do sell these in the shop. These tea clips are great for tea bags that don't have a string attached, and these tea sacks are the prime example. So this is my mom's. My mom's is blue. And so I flip it on to the tea sack. It holds it closed, but it also will keep it from falling into, it really works better in a mug, but it's going to keep it from falling into the mug. And so I'm going to pour, I'm actually nervous about doing this. I'm going to pour a little bit of water on that, and you're going to let it steep in the cup. I don't recommend doing it this way when you're doing a tea party. Like, use a pot because it's nicer. But for our purposes, so that I can demonstrate how to use the tea sack and the tea clip, we're going to, 3 minutes, please, thank you. We're going to let that steep in the cup. And so that is Island Lime, and I can already smell that. Okay, so we're going to let that steep. I'll grab my phone for the next one. So the next one is oolong. So oolong is kind of in between black and green teas. It's not fermented like a black tea. It's a milder, I call it a milder black tea. It's stronger than a green tea, but it's really mild and lovely. I really like oolong. Oolong kind of looks like little pellets. And this one is sweet watermelon oolong. I drank a lot of this last summer on ice, and it is fantastic. It just smells sweet and fruity. It's oolong. It does have papaya pieces in it, and oh, it's so good. It smells like watermelon. I don't know how they do it, because you can't dry a watermelon. I mean, I guess you could try, but it's a watermelon. So I don't know. I don't know how you dry that one. Anyway, so I'm going to demonstrate this tea sack again. I made my dad laugh. I like it when I make my dad laugh. Okay, so I got my perfect cup of teaspoon. I'm putting the tea in, and I flip the spoon to get the tea down into the bottom of the sack. And I'm going to fold this over. I'm not worried about it falling into this cup because it's just a shallow teacup. I'm going to pour the water on. Oolong does not like boiling water. It wants shy of boiling water. And it also does not want to steep as long as a black tea. So I'm going to give it 2 minutes. And so we'll let that steep for 2. And that's the sweet watermelon oolong. And we got the island lime over there. And then the third tea that I'm going to demonstrate from the summer sampler is this is a new one that added to the shop in the last couple of months. It's called Blooming Honeybush, and it is honeybush. Honeybush is different. It's similar to rooibos. It's a different plant, also from South Africa. It's the honeybush plant. And it's very similar to rooibos, except that it's not a needle like rooibos. It's a choppier looking, fine cut leaf. It is the red color, and it has a little bit more sweetness, like a honey flavor naturally, and it's really delightful. So the blooming honeybush came about because a friend of mine reached out to ask if I could replicate her favorite tea that was from Tazo that was discontinued. And so that's the timer for the island lime. So she was kind enough to give me a sample so that I could taste it and smell it and try to figure out what was in it. Okay, so on the island lime, that was that timer for the island lime. So I'm using a tea bag squeezer, and I do carry these in the shop to squeeze out every drop out of that tea sack. Every drop out of the tea sack. And you can see it's perfect.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
A great color on that. I'm going to put that tea sack. Oops, okay. And so that's the island lime, and I can smell that lime. And so now the oolong is ready, and you can see oolong is not as dark as black tea. It looks more like a green tea, but I think it has a flavor more like a black tea. It's somewhere, like I said, it's somewhere in between black and green.
Yeah.
But that's the oolong, and that's the sweet watermelon oolong. And
Is that this one?
that's this one. Yep. And I was explaining the blooming honeybush. So I worked on blending the blooming honeybush for a while, and came up with what I thought was a good match for her tea. I sent her a couple samples, and she gave me the thumbs up.
And are we allowed to say what it was called? What the Tazo tea was?
The Tazo tea was flowering honeybush.
Flowering honeybush. Okay.
And
Because I'm not familiar with that.
yeah, and it's really good.
Yeah.
I like it a lot, and I'm grateful that she introduced it to me, and I think I came up with a pretty good
Great.
almost replacement for it. And so it is honeybush, and it does have some fruit pieces in it, and I'll explain that in just a second. I'm going to get this steeping, because this steeps longer because it's more like a rooibos, so it can steep for about 5 minutes. 3 to 5. We'll give it 5. Put that down in there, it's floating. Okay, so what's in the blooming honeybush is the honeybush. It's got dried apple pieces, blackberry leaves, and then freeze-dried papaya and freeze-dried peach. And so those are the 3 that I'm demoing from the, get that down in there, it's got an air pocket. I'll just leave that in there. From the summer sampler. But there are 6 other teas in the summer sampler, and I did not write down what those other teas are. But if you go to teaforallreasons.com, right on the first page of the shop, the summer sampler is there at the top of the page. And I answered that question. So we're waiting on the blooming honeybush, and then, and so I'll just go ahead and start showing. So while we're waiting on the honeybush, which could take a while, I'll show you the necessities. So I showed you the perfect cup of teaspoon. Okay, I have plenty of time. And I showed you the tea bag clip, which I carry in the shop. And they do come in other colors. I have a lot of colors in this style. This is the beaded one with the wire teacup at the bottom. Excuse me. There are others that I make. These come from somebody else. I make some that just have a cute little beaded thing at the bottom that dangles. So there are all different kinds of tea bag clips in the shop. I showed you the tea sack 1. I have the 2 and the 3 as well. The 2 is good for a mug. In my everyday at home, I go for the 2 before the 1, because the 1's a little bit small for my larger mugs. So if you have a larger mug, like a 10 plus ounce mug, use a 2, because you need to get more tea in there. And then the 3 is good for a pot. If you have a 6 to 8 cup pot, use 2, because you're going to put. Well, you probably could
No,
get 2.
I've
You
used
could
one.
use a 3 for
Yeah.
a 6 to 8 cup pot. You can get quite a bit of tea in a 3.
Yeah, you can.
I did want to tell you though, so I ordered more of the T-Sec 2, and my supplier sent me these. They're the exact same thing, it's just a different package, but it's the exact same thing. I have not listed these separately. When I'm out of these, I'm just gonna, these are what will get sent. But it's the same thing. So don't be surprised if you see this.
Yeah.
And then I do have the Ideal Brew timers. It has 3 different colors of sand to indicate the 3 times, like for black tea, oolong, green, and I can't read that. Herbal. So I do carry those. And then I have a lot of different infusers and strainers. This is a strainer similar to the one I used earlier that has a handle. It's like a spoon type that fits over any type of cup. And I carry these, but I also carry more traditional strainers too in the shop. I just didn't bring those with me today. How much more time? A minute. Okay. Mom already showed you the cookbook. We have cookbooks.
Yeah, we're running low.
We're getting low, so if you want a cookbook, now's the time to order it, because when we're out, we're
Yeah,
out.
they're gone. And I know someone's going to ask.
I know.
We haven't
done
made
anything.
haven't made any progress on a new cookbook.
Nope.
But we promise that we will start sometime.
Sometime we will work on. Honestly, I have a full-time job, and I do this on the side, and I have teenage kids who are homeschooled, and so it's
She takes care of me.
and she takes care of you, and so I'm a little busy to be working on a cookbook 24 seconds. Thank you.
Hurricane season.
I'm sorry, what? So
We'll get to it.
we'll get it
Yeah,
eventually,
we'll get to
one of these days.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. Okay, so get a cookbook while you can, and we will, I promise, work on cookbook number 2. This is a tea travel kit. These things are great.
There you go.
I picked up one that does not have tins in it, but they have little pockets where you can slide tea bags in there, or sweetener packets. A small tea mug fits on this side, and then there are 4 slots where you can fit tins. I'm bummed that I picked up the one that didn't have tins in it.
Yeah, I've got my tins.
Anyway, but it's great for travel. I traveled for business last month, and I took mine, and I was able to have tea every day in my hotel room, because I had my tea with me. I had my perfect cup of teaspoon. I had tea sacks, and I had a different mug with me for that one. And I would just go down to the lobby of the hotel where they had hot water with the coffee, and I would scoop my tea right in my mug, and I had great tea every day. Do I have a Pinterest page? Well, I think you have the
Business does.
Mom created the there we go. These tins fit in the tea travel kit. They're smaller than these tins. These tins were way too big, and so it's a much smaller tin. But it's all you need for travel, and they fit right in that little slot right there.
And you can fit 4.
You can fit 4 tins.
4 come with it, right?
You can get this with no tins.
Okay.
You can get it with 2 tins, and you can get it with 4 tins.
Okay.
So if you want 4 tins, you know, you can make that selection and you get 4 tins.
Yeah, as far as the Pinterest page, there is a Tea for All Reasons Pinterest page, and I post a lot of recipes there.
Not our recipes.
Not our recipes, no.
Just
general
general
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
recipes that are good for tea time or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So there's a lot there.
Right. Pardon me, my throat is getting dry. Do you? Yeah, no, it's herbal, so it's fine. It's looking a little weak. That's why I was letting it. It probably needed more in the bag. Okay, so this is the blooming honeybush, and it doesn't get as red as rooibos, and that's probably what was throwing me off because it's not rooibos. And so that's a nice pinkish color. That's yours. And so that's the blooming honeybush, and I can smell all 3 of those.
Yeah.
They smell good. And so those are the 3 teas demoed out of the summer sampler. But there are so many other teas that are great for summer that we have in the shop. And so that's why I wanted to show you a few more. So I'm going to push those up a little bit. Feel free to taste. Can you do a reprint of the current cookbook?
No,
No.
not at this point. It's really, it needs to be updated. If we were to reprint it, it would really need a major update because that was published back in 2006, I think.
Yeah,
Long time ago. So it's time to either do a total update on it or a new cookbook. And we just figured it would be better if we do a new one.
yeah.
So
And, you know, new recipes.
yeah, new recipes.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so I'm prepping this for the other 3 teas that I'm going to show you that are summery, but that are not in the summer sampler this year. And the first one is a bestseller, and that is Orange Creamsicle. It's a black tea, and it's exactly like it sounds.
It is one of my
It's-
absolute favorites.
It's orangey and has kind of a vanilla
Creamy.
vanilla
Yeah, it's
flavor.
so
orange.
good.
It's really good, and so I'm going to demonstrate that.
I was, let me interject.
Yep.
I was going through my memories on Facebook the other day, and our granddaughter, our oldest granddaughter, who now is 19, a picture of her popped up, and she and I were out having tea, and there's a local tea room that carries this particular tea of ours, of Jen's, and she drank 7 cups of orange creamsicle that day.
And she
was probably
buzzed?
she was maybe 12.
Wow.
12
Well,
years
that's
old.
like Molly. That one time she drank a whole pot of vanilla cream by herself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to pour the water over. That's the orange creamsicle in the tea sack, and we'll give that. I'm going to give that a little bit more. 3 minutes. And we'll let that steep. Okay. Got it? Well, you have a question? Can you add milk to orange creamsicle? Sure.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, because it would really make it more like
More
a
like
real
an
orange
orange
creamsicle.
creamsicle,
I don't really add milk to any of my teas, so I've never experienced that with the orange creamsicle, but I would imagine it would be pretty good.
Yeah. Yep. Don't add cream. Don't
No,
do cream.
not
We
cream.
always advise cream will curdle in black tea.
And it's just too heavy.
It's too heavy for
Even
your
half
tea.
and half. It's too heavy. It masks the real flavor of your tea.
Here we go. Are we doing a demo on how to make iced tea? So we talked about doing a demo on iced tea and decided not to do an actual demo tonight because we had a lot going on. But I think that we should, well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll do a brief.
Yeah, once I've got this done, we'll do
talk
a
about it.
brief primer
Yeah.
on iced tea because iced tea is easy.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to your Lipton tea bag and
Oh, please don't.
yeah, you can make
Yeah,
excellent
any
iced
of
tea from
these.
any of our teas. Okay, so the next one that I'm going to show you is Tropical White. And this came from somebody asking if I could replicate a discontinued tea that I think was Tivana.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it was, but this one came out of that.
Oh, and it is so good. This
And
is
it's
another favorite.
it's
one.
really good. It is a white tea, and it is mango, papaya. It has apple and rose hip, orange pieces, hibiscus, and it is really, really good. It's a nice light because it's a white tea. It has a nice color to it. So I'm going to demonstrate this. Can you make iced tea with orange creamsicle?
Yes.
Yes, you can make
Absolutely.
iced tea with any of our teas. Except maybe, don't make iced tea with the holiday blends.
No, not the spicy.
The super spicy ones.
No.
But any of the teas I'm showing you tonight would be great on ice. Which is why I chose them. This is summer tea love. And so, yeah, any of these would be great on ice. If you do a search, there's a little search icon on the website. If you do a search on summer, you'll have a whole bunch of teas pop up in the list that I've tagged as summertime teas. But also in the drop-down menu that's on the left-hand side of like I'm going to do left-hand for me. But for you, on the left-hand side, there's a menu bar there. If you click into tea, there are categories. If you click on iced tea, any of the teas that I think are great on ice should be tagged for iced tea. And so that's a good way to find those too. So I'm going to demonstrate this, and I'm flipping it everywhere. Is that black tea done? Is that the timer? Okay, that was the timer for the black tea. There you go. Here you go. And I will get white tea in this bucket.
Right, and this one was the orange
That's
creamsicle.
the orange creamsicle. And so this is the tropical white. Click on that.
Now, I've got a fresh pot
Yeah,
water.
I'll use that for the rooibos. But this is the good temperature for the white. So white tea does not like boiling water, and it also does not steep as long. So we're going to give this. No, I got enough. I got enough. Yeah,
Okay.
just enough. A minute and a half. So you don't want to give white tea more than a minute or 2 minutes. I'm going to say a minute and a half, 90 seconds for the tropical white. Oops. And then the third one that I'm going to show you is a rooibos that I had to redo the formula because my supplier discontinued the bulk of it, and so this is the new Very Berry Muffin, and I love it. Can you see it? It smells like berries.
Oh, so good.
So this is a rooibos base, so it is naturally decaffeinated. The white tea, by the way, has a little bit of caffeine. White tea, green tea, oolong, black tea, they have caffeine. It has less than a black tea, but it does have a little bit. So if you're caffeine sensitive, be careful with even a white tea. But it's not as strong. But rooibos is naturally decaffeinated. So this has elderberry, rose hips, hibiscus, currants, schizandra berries, cranberry, apple pieces, 2 types of blueberries, raspberry, rose petals, strawberry, essential oil of orange. So this has quite a bit, and it's really, really good. So I'm gonna, while she squeezes that tropical white, which is not white, it doesn't look white, it looks pink because of that hibiscus that's in it. I'm gonna load this tea sack. Oh, did I show this?
Yeah.
Okay, Very Berry Muffin. Load up this bag, and we'll get that steeping. So this can do 5. Let's do 4. background. Okay, so this is the Very Berry Muffin. The color popped out quick. And we'll give that 4 minutes, and while that is steeping, I'll continue showing off the necessities. I did all of these. So I ended with the travel kit. So I did want to remind you that I do have tea cozies for teapots. I have 2 different kinds. I have the wrap kind, which is what this one is. And they're in a lot of different fabrics. This one is really easy to put on. It comes folded up, but it has a base, and so you just put your pot right in the base. It's got a little slot for the spout, and then a place in the back where the handle is out, and that's where I tie the bow, and then the bow doesn't get wet.
Yeah, because you don't have to remove this.
Yeah, this one
To pour your
stays.
tea.
This one stays on the pot,
Right.
and you can access the lid to put more water in if you need to, and it works great. And I have 2 different sizes of these. This one is the 2 to 4 cup, I think, and I have a 6 to 8 cup. Oh, this says 6 cup, but
Yeah,
it
I was
fits on a
gonna say.
4 cup pot. It's
Yeah.
pretty big.
Yeah,
So this is a 6 cup, but it fits on a smaller pot because that's a 4 cup pot
right.
that it's wrapped around. So I have the wraparound kind, and then I also have the cover kind, and I have a bunch of different fabrics, but I just brought a couple to show. I've got this cute gray black motif. Don't fall off. I got it. These are the 2 to 4 cup cover kind that fit over your pot. You're not gonna, it just fits over.
Yeah.
But they're nicely quilted. They've got nice coordinating fabrics on the inside. These are great. So these are the 2 to 4 cup size, and then I have the 6 to 8 cup size as well, which is significantly larger. You can see, and a lot of different fabrics. So if you search on the website, you can find those. And then last but not least of the items, the stuff that I brought, necessities. Oh yeah, a big one. So that's a 6 cup pot, and you can see that
Perfect.
fits on there nicely.
Yeah.
Covers, and the larger one will work for a smaller pot too. So, and then I have these tea wallets as well in a lot of different fabrics, and so I'll just kind of show you the different fabrics that I have available right now. But these are great for when you're traveling. You want to have a tea bag, tea sacks in your purse or your backpack or whatever. There are 6 slots for tea bags or tea sacks. It folds up nicely into a compact little tea wallet, and you're good to go. Snaps up. Great gift for a tea lover. You could preload it with tea bags if you're giving it as a gift, but these are available in the shop as well. And Jesse gave me a question of white, oolong, rooibos, and black teas. Do the black teas have the most caffeine? Yes. Yes, they do. And rooibos has no caffeine. Rooibos, honeybush, herbals, no caffeine. The white tea, green tea, black tea, oolong, all have caffeine. But the black is the strongest, and it weakens by color. Is there one type of tea cozy that keeps the tea warmer than others? No, as long as the cover is on the pot, it's going to keep the pot warm. Once the cover comes off, then the pot will start cooling eventually.
No, they all work pretty
Yeah,
well.
they all work to keep the pot warm. So that is the Very Berry Muffin, and you can see it's significantly darker than even the black tea.
Yeah.
And that's the rooibos. So rooibos black tea, and then this is your white tea, which is pink because of the hibiscus.
Yeah.
The hibiscus, any tea that has hibiscus in it might end up with a pink cast to it, because hibiscus puts out that pink color, and it's so pretty, and it tastes good too. So I think we covered everything. Oh, I was gonna show our packaging. I brought our packaging sizes just to remind you what we've got. This is the 2 ounce specialty teas are gonna be in the gold bag. Our non-specialty teas, straight up stuff, is in the green bag. Decaf black in the silver bag. And these are all the 2 ounce. And then I have a 4 ounce in the same colors. I only brought the one bag to show the size difference. So you can see the size difference in the 2 bags. And then we added the tins a few months ago, gold, green, silver. These hold 3 ounces of tea. I've been asked what size to, will I do refills? No. But you can buy a 2 ounce bag and fill it, you know, if you want it in your tin, you can do it that way. But I'm not selling specific bag, like, I'm not selling refills for these. And these are available in the shop as well.
All right, so
And
let's talk
that's
real
it.
quickly about
Iced
iced tea.
tea, yep.
Because we had talked a little bit earlier about the fact that, you know, as far as we're concerned, making iced tea is really not a big challenge because what I do many times in the morning is I will brew using something like the tea maker or a French press and make the tea in the morning and then put it into a teapot or a measuring cup and just let it sit on the counter, and I've got my tea for the day. And I just pour it right over the ice. I don't refrigerate it. You should not refrigerate the tea because it will get cloudy. The herbals will not, but anything with caffeine in it or the tannins in it will get cloudy. So it's better for you to make it fresh on the day that you're going to use it, or let it sit out on the counter. And you can let it sit on the counter for probably 24 hours, and that would be fine. You can make it stronger if you want, not by brewing it longer, but by adding more tea. Yeah, that's always the rule of thumb. If you want a stronger tea, like an iced tea, that's going to be diluted with ice, then use more tea, not more brewing time.
Right. Dad made a good point. You can use tea, put tea in your ice tray.
Ice tray. Who has an ice tray?
I know
these
who
days?
has ice trays.
I went looking for some and I had a hard time finding
Yeah,
them.
but if you need to buy an ice tray, buy an ice tray, and
Yeah.
you can make some tea to make tea ice cubes. Then your tea doesn't get diluted
Right.
with water.
Yeah.
But I just tend to make mine stronger so that I can add however much ice I need to add, and then that water will make it the right.
Yeah, and even in a pinch, like if you're making it, you want some iced tea. You make your tea, pour it over ice, and you're done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, but you can pour it over ice and it's not going to get cloudy right out of the hot pot.
Right.
Putting it in the fridge is what makes it cloudy. That slow process of cooling it down
Right.
is just different than that quick shock of pouring it over the ice.
Yeah.
Because I actually will brew mine in the afternoon in the tea maker, and I have my thermal mug full of ice, and when I decant, it
There you
decants
go.
over. Now, it melts all the ice, but it cools the tea, and then I can throw more ice
More
in
ice in.
there, and then I have a nice iced tea.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. That's
So-
what you do. It's just really not as complicated as you think.
yeah,
And you'll and any, like she said, any of these teas are wonderful ice. Not so much the spicy ones, but the fruity ones for summer are just wonderful ice.
Yeah.
Any one of
Yeah.
them. And I really think many of them are even better as an iced tea.
yeah. Some of them, for sure. Yeah. Southern sweet tea.
Southern sweet tea. Did we demonstrate sweet tea one
I
time last
feel
summer?
like we did
We did the simple
the
syrup.
simple syrup.
Where you dissolve sugar in hot water, get it totally dissolved into a simple syrup, and I think it's 2-to-1. I think it was like a cup of sugar to 2 cups of water,
Mhm.
and you can keep that in your fridge, and then use that as your sweetener for your iced tea.
Yeah, yeah. But I tend to make it unsweetened because you never know like for the 4th,
Yeah,
I'm
who
gonna be
might want-
making iced tea. I don't know who likes their tea sweet, so
Right.
I make it unsweetened, and then if they want it sweet, they can sweeten it. And also, I don't do the sugar, so,
Right.
and my husband doesn't either, so.
No, we don't usually.
Yeah, so iced tea's not hard, and I know we've gotten the question too about sun tea. I don't recommend it for loose leaf tea, because the loose leaf tea needs that hot water shock, and it doesn't get that with sun tea.
Not only that, but I've seen reports that there may be some health issues with having it sitting out too long, that bacteria can build up, and you can have tummy upset from drinking it. We've just never done
Yeah,
it.
we've never
We don't
done
do
it.
it.
We do it the old fashioned
Yeah.
way. And also, I know I mentioned this last time too, I'm not a proponent of cold brew, but I know that a lot of people like to do it, and I know that there are tea companies that are providing tea for cold brew. I don't know if they're processing the tea differently to work with
Yeah.
cold brew.
I think they are, because I actually purchased some because I wanted to try it, some Twinings, and they said that they had, in their words, they had perfected the process for the cold brew tea, and it is good, but yeah,
I just think
it's
it's weak.
good. Well, these are kind of
know.
fruity,
Okay.
but actually I've been putting them in my fruit smoothies, so it's not like I'm drinking it
Yeah, right.
straight.
How long can a pitcher of tea sit out?
I would say 24 hours, probably not longer than that.
Yeah, before you refrigerate it.
Yeah.
It will need to go in the fridge at some point.
Yeah, but beware, you still may have some cloudy issues. Even if it's totally cooled down, you may. But
Yeah.
definitely don't put hot or warm tea in the fridge.
Yeah, and the cloudiness doesn't affect the flavor much. It just doesn't look as pretty. You like having a nice clear glass of iced tea. I don't feel like the flavor is affected that much by the cloudiness. It's mostly the look of it.
Well, I have heard that in order to get rid of the cloudiness, that you can add some boiling water to the tea.
Oh.
I may have tried that years ago. I don't remember, but I've heard that
Okay.
you can add boiling water, but
Yeah,
I just
I know.
don't let it happen. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All
Any
right.
other questions?
We have
I think my son is fading.
cookies.
He's been up since 5.
And let me have the cookbook again. Do you have it over there?
Yeah, it's under there.
So here are the finished cookies.
One more question.
And I wanted to mention one more thing about these. Again, they're on page 24 of the cookbook. And if you, this is a basic recipe, a basic cookie recipe. If you want to enhance the lemon flavor, there's no reason why you can't add some lemon zest to the recipe, maybe a teaspoon of lemon zest, or substitute 1 teaspoon. This calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla. You can substitute 1 teaspoon of lemon extract and 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and get a more lemony flavor. So there's that. But I just think they turned
Yeah, I
out
mean, it
really
comes out-
great. I'm really pleased with how they turned out.
Is there any occasion where you would leave a tea bag in the pot or pitcher?
Nope, no. There are times when that happens,
Yeah.
like in tea rooms, but no, you don't want that.
No, it'll get bitter.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave it longer than it takes to steep it to how you want to drink it. If you leave that bag in there, it just gets bitter.
Yeah.
So like when Starbucks, you're getting tea from Starbucks and they got that tea bag with the string hanging out of the cup, don't leave it in there.
No.
Let it steep for however long it takes to steep, and then take that bag out. Otherwise, the rest of your drink is going to get bitter. And I've
Or
had
too
bitter.
strong.
I've had bitter tea from Starbucks. What mug size goes in the travel bag? I'm still trying to find a good mug that fits in the travel kit. The website where I get these, she shows one, but they're pricey. And so that's why I haven't bought those, because they're very, very expensive, and
Now,
they're,
would
they're
yours
small.
fit in there?
It does, Mine does fit in, I've got water
You just
in
can't
here.
put anything on this side.
You have to be careful about what you're putting in.
But it'll zip.
But it will zip. I mean, you can have your tins in there, but you're not gonna be able to put anything through the middle.
Right.
So yeah, this will fit in
Yeah.
there.
Because I have done that actually.
Yeah, I have to.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it does work, but it does make it pretty fat.
It does.
And it's got some give.
Yeah.
But I don't sell it doesn't come with the thermal mug, you'd have to get that separate. Okay, any other questions? You
All
guys have
right,
been,
folks.
you guys have kept us,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
to us
Thanks for
tonight.
hanging with us.
Yeah.
And sorry about the difficulties earlier.
yeah.
And we'll get back in the swing of things. It's been a little while since we did this together.
Yeah.
Next month.
Next month, Christmas in July, July 16th.
July 16th. That's
July
right.
16th, Christmas in July, we're still trying to figure out what that's gonna be.
Yeah, we're thinking.
We're
of some
talking through
ideas.
some ideas, but.
Hey, you know what? It doesn't hurt to ask what they might be looking for.
Yeah. Let us know what you're interested
We
in.
might do a cooking demo.
We could do a cooking demo. We
What
could
kind
do.
of teas would you want
Yeah.
in July?
Yep.
We could do an eating demo.
And
Well-
we'll have some lovelies to show. Probably not as much as we have in the years past.
Right.
But we may have a few
things.
things to
Mhm,
show.
mhm. Yep.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, let us know.
And tea, of
And
course.
tea, of
We'll
course.
show some teas.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to show the holiday teas. Probably. Well, we'll talk about
We'll
it.
talk about it.
But yeah, Christmas in July. I think that's going to be our tradition every year. Is do a Christmas
Yeah.
in July thing in July. So don't forget the giveaway.
Yes.
If you've already commented, don't comment again, because it gets hairy when I'm going through all those comments. So if you've already put the keyword in there, don't put it in a second
Yeah.
time. But if you missed this at the beginning, the giveaway is the In the Peaches sampler, which is new to the shop this year, and this is the giveaway, and the keyword is peaches. If you can do it in all caps, that helps me find it. I will go through all of the comments
You might get to see Molly tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yes, you will see Molly tomorrow. She'll draw out of the mug. Oh, I meant to show the Tea for All Reasons mugs. That's okay. But yeah, Molly will draw a name out of the Tea for All Reasons mug, and we'll announce that sometime tomorrow afternoon of
Okay.
who wins the sampler giveaway. And I think that's it.
Take one last picture, hubby, of the beautiful teas here.
The teas.
I'm looking at the tea,
The tea, yeah.
selection. Wonderful.
They look pretty.
They do. All right.
Okay.
Well, we're so glad to be back together.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
All right. So we'll say goodnight for now, and we will see you July 16th at the next Facebook Live here at the Tea for All Reasons page for Christmas in July.
Right.
And until then, have a good one.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.